Morning, everybody. I'm Marten. I lead an army of hackers, an army of very good ethical hackers, white hats, who can save you and your software and make this world a much, much better place to live in. I'll give you an example. Just a few weeks ago, on February 17th, one of our hackers, Frans Rosen in Stockholm, found a vulnerability in Slack, the very popular communications platform. It was a pretty important vulnerability he found. A Friday evening, he reported it to Slack. They responded in 33 minutes to him and said, "Thank you for your report. This is valuable. We're working on it." In 5 hours, Slack had fixed the bug and rolled out the fix, and the service was secure again. And Frans Rosen said, "Thank you, Slack. Amazing work, and thank you for the bounty." This is how our business model works. We have some of the absolutely best hackers in the world who are ready to hack each and every one here, your systems, in order to help you so you can fix your vulnerabilities, get your systems in shape, and have a more secure system. So maybe I should ask you first, how many of you do develop software? All of you. Is there anybody here whose business is not built on software? That's, of course, exactly the fantastic thing. Software is eating everything. Software is eating the world. And we have all these amazing opportunities. We can make the world a better place. We can build sharing economy businesses. We can build unicorns. We can do anything. It's absolutely fantastic. The downside of it is that cybercrime is eating software. And we are doing practically nothing about it. Take CI/CD as an example. You do continuous integration, continuous deployment of your code. Do you do continuous security? No. Who cares about security? Maybe some of the advanced here will do an occasional pen test, but it's always behind. You just ignore security. You push code every single day, but you don't push security every single day. And we're just in denial. We deny that there's anything wrong with our software. We refuse to take input when it's offered. And when it is offered, we drag our feet in fixing the bugs. So no wonder we are easy to hack, because we do nothing to protect ourselves there. Fortunately, the hackers out there, they are good guys. They are good people with good intent, and they are ready to help you. They are ready to watch over your code every single moment, every single day, and find the flaws before the criminals find them. But then you say, hey, stop. Shouldn't we actually fear them? Isn't it hackers who actually hack us? And the answer is a simple no. Those who break into your systems, those who steal your data, those who stop and bring down your services, they are not hackers. They are criminals. We have a word for that. It's called criminals. They have no respect for your rights, no respect for your data. They'll break in, steal it, break it, take it, and go away. They are just criminals. But there's a group of hackers, ethical hackers, and there are many, many more who are as skilled, as active, as good. They're out there, and they are ready to help you get your software in shape, because you are unable to get your own software in shape. Human beings have bias of ownership. And when you have produced something, it's so cute, so wonderful, so beautiful. Your code is so beautiful, you can't see what's wrong with it. But somebody on the outside, like Frans Rosen in Stockholm or anybody else, can spot the flaw, report it to you if you're just open to it, if you're just ready to receive. So here they are. These are the superheroes of today. At HackerOne, we make these posters for the top hackers on the platform. Mark Litchfield, Geek Boy, Try to Hack, and there are others. These are the superheroes who will come and help you, who will act like in Spider-Man, where they say, with great power comes great responsibility. These people can hack into any system you ask them to hack into. And they'll come to it just like the criminals from the outside. They'll try to break in just like the criminals. But that's where the analogy stops. Once they've broken in, they stop there, they send you a kind report, and they say, have a look at this. There's a vulnerability in your system. I can break in through your mobile app, through your website, through your API. You have an XSS, you have a cross-site request forgery, a SQL injection, an RC, anything. They'll find it, point it out to you, so that you can fix it. And they are these superheroes. Of course, in reality, they are normal human beings like you and me. They just have this very special interest in how computer systems work and what you can do about fixing them. Because they are eternal optimists. No matter how cynical they can be, no matter how angry they can be at times, how impatient they can be, they are eternal optimists who believe that if we just look for every vulnerability, we will find it and we can fix it long before the criminals start exploiting them. At HackerOne, we by now have over 100,000 hackers registered on the platform. That's probably more than there are black hats out there, probably more than there are bad guys in the cybercrime space in the whole world. 100,000 people have signed up, ready to help anybody here when you invite them. If you don't invite them, they won't come. If you don't invite them, the criminals will still come. But the hackers that we have on our platform, they will act on your invitation. And when you say, come and see if you can find a hole in my system, they will. Not all 100,000. Nobody here needs 100,000. But we can pick from the 100,000 because we know what they know, how good they are, how productive they are, what their special skills are. And we can give you the hackers that know exactly the stuff you need to know, and they'll find the vulnerabilities. Thanks to this amazing community, our customers have fixed over 42,000 vulnerabilities in their systems over the past few years. 42,000 bugs that could have resulted in a data breach if they had been exploited by criminals. And an average data breach costs you $7 million. If you're a startup, it's probably cheaper. If you're a big company, it's hundreds of millions in damages if you get breached. And we have fixed over 42,000 of those vulnerabilities yet. I wish I could say that we're getting close to the limit and soon we've fixed all. No, unfortunately, it's not that easy. You guys here deploy 111 billion lines of code every year. And I don't know how good you are at coding, but nobody can produce error-free code. So with 111 billion lines of new code deployed every year, there's a lot of new vulnerabilities being deployed every year. And mind you, a vulnerability doesn't necessarily even require a bug to happen. A security vulnerability can be the result of configuration, of various libraries you use, of the way you deploy. So it's not always even a bug. But we've already got 42,000 of them off the plate, and we're working on the remainder. And as this has been done by these amazing hackers out in the world who are independent actors, who work on their own, and who come into the platform to work for you, we've transmitted to them over $16 million in payments, in rewards for what they found. This is the power of this model. You pay for results. You don't pay for a report that's not useful for you. You pay for the reports that are really valid and for vulnerabilities that you need to fix. And then you can pay whatever it takes. The biggest payment, $105,000 for a single vulnerability. Typically, they can go up to $50,000, $30,000. Small companies will pay up to $5,000. So it depends on who you are. But there's a living market here for rewarding the hackers for the fines that they come to you with, as long as you have the openness to receive them and then take action. What's happening here is one of the most beautiful examples of the sharing economy. It's an act of democratizing the opportunity around cybersecurity. Those of you who have been in the security practice know that it used to be something for very few people, for a very few select few with certain certifications, working for certain companies with certain clearances. Here we're taking security and saying, no, this is not a profession of just very few. This is something that concerns all of us, and everybody is invited to join. And you can be anywhere in the world as long as you're willing to contribute, you're ready to learn, and you have the tenacity needed for becoming a good hacker. And when you do that, you can share the good with the rest of your society. And this is how this model works very well, that it's global, and it's people from all walks of life in all corners of the planet who come and hack on companies who are happy to pay for what they find. So look at this. If you are a young hacker, many of them are young male hackers. Of course, one of the early things you want for yourself is a car. And that's the most beautiful thing, of course. You deserve it and you get a car. But others, they buy cars for their sisters. They buy apartments for their mothers. They donate their bounties to open source projects. These people have the best of society in mind. They can be anybody. They can be here in the audience. And probably somebody here in the audience is a hacker in his or her spare time. And they get a channel here for their creativity and their intelligence and their passion, something that society hasn't really given them before. Because society many times thinks that hackers are bad or scary or dangerous and we need to stay away from them. And no wonder they then become like that. If you give them trust, they'll pay you back in good deeds, in finding the vulnerabilities, helping you get your software in shape. And because we are pooling these resources across the world, you can always get the right sort of hacker for your system, whether it's a mobile app, a web app, an IoT device, a car, anything, a toy, a Barbie doll, for instance. There are specialists who will know how to hack each one of them. And when they get paid by you, get the bounties paid by you, their lives improve and they can help others improve their lives. This army is so strong that even the army is asking them to be hacked. HackerOne was handpicked a year ago to run the Hack the Pentagon program, where we had 1,400 vetted hackers hacking for a few weeks on Pentagon systems, finding 138 valid vulnerabilities that then got fixed. The first one in 13 minutes. Half a year later, we did Hack the Army, end of last year. Same thing, amazing success, just unbelievable success in a few short weeks. Except this time, the first report came in within 5 minutes. And if you're now a great hacker here listening to this, get ready, because in 2 weeks we are launching Hack the US Air Force. So if you can hack at Mach 2 speeds, get ready and sign up, because the Air Force needs your help. And what this means more broadly is that those who have the absolutely biggest firepower in the world, they need hackers in order not to be vulnerable. So the organizations that we have tasked with our defense need hackers for their own defense. Secretary of Defense said last year that bug bounty programs let us get in front of the problem instead of just playing defense. This is how important this is now becoming, that even the Army and the Defense Forces, the Department of Defense, needs hackers in order to find the vulnerabilities. And they can be anybody, as I said. They are not nefarious criminals. They are also not imaginary superheroes. They are regular, normal human beings. They have a particular skill for computers. They have a curiosity that's absolutely endless. They are cynical and optimistic at the same time. And they have absolutely no patience. Hackers have no patience because they know that unless you fix your bug quickly, somebody might still be exploiting it for criminal purposes. More broadly, most of these are men. We are inviting and hoping to get more women into this. Many of them are very young. The youngest hacker is 10 years old. They are many times under 20. And they have this endless curiosity to find your bugs. It's used by everybody in the industry. Google is spending over $3 million a year on their bug bounty programs, and others are following suit. And what we need to do when we think about cybersecurity is to turn everything upside down and inside out. To make our software more secure, we don't need more technology. We need more attention by human beings. We don't need to, and we shouldn't keep things close to our vest. We need to open up to help from the outside and collaboration. And we need to stop prosecuting the hackers and inviting them instead. Because you just say no to hackers by saying yes. Sorry, just say no to the attackers by saying yes to the hackers. Thank you.